Yes.
Calipari looked great this summer and started really strong. It hit that stretch where he was having trouble being physical, scoring over guys and that contact.
Shooting it with the wrong hand, like shooting it like that instead of shooting it like that. And, not jumping, not shooting it quick.
What do you think happened to him in that?
It's hard. It's hard to play the right way. You try to go back to see if I can do it that other way. It's much easier. And then what happens is your confidence gets down. And it's not just him. We had a lot of guys. You go through that. It's what we're asking him to do is really hard. I got to be able to do this easier way. It's got to be an easier way than this. And they try him now. And they try and they try and it doesn't work. And their eyes get real big. Then they figure out, you know what? I got to do this way.
What did you guys do with him? He looked like he's back.
Just better in practice. I told him, mate, you could almost watch guys in practice and say, if he plays like that, watch what happens. But it's hard. I mean, it's hard to run really hard every time. Outrun your guy. I thought Carl fought. This game's going to be different now because these guys are really physical. They disrupt your offense. You have to be strong with the ball. They'll trap our post. Got to play off of that. Playing much faster than they played in the past. They've lost 4 games, and the games they've lost, Wichita, Iowa State, Xavier, all on the road, South Carolina, all on the road. They could have won all of them. So we know how good they are.
Cal, were you surprised at Tim Floyd's comments?
No, Tim and I are friends, and we had talked, but part of the issue here is we just can't play road games. Can't play a couple road games, and our neutral games, we play financially are like almost a home game. So you just can't, not when you see 25,000. So to plug in another road game, I get it. I mean, if they'd like to play us, I'm fine with it. Tim knows I'm fine. We can try to work something in the schedule if they want to come here, but I just don't think we can play. And I don't blame the school. I don't blame them.
Cal, is DeCarney, it seems like he doesn't have room to operate when he gets the ball. Like you say, they collapse.
They have to. They're not going to surrender. I keep coming back to, why are they playing like this and hard, and they're not surrendering. So they body to body him, and they just try to lay on him, whether they're fouls or not. It's up for grabs whether they're allowed to do that. But their choice is to give him a basket. And then they will crowd him. They'll sit on his lap. This team will trap from a guard in the middle of the court and try to take away stuff to see if he can pass weak side. So he and Carl, you either get the ball to the rim quick, or you're going to end up being a passer.
Aaron seems like he's been pretty adept at times when you really need one to step into a passing lane, pick off a pass.
He's getting better.
Layup.
He's getting better.
He bought into defense.
He's getting better. I think Dom being on the ball helped that group. More pressure on the ball leads to more opportunities to be playmakers off the ball. So that was good.
Sam, when you look around at sort of some of the things that are happening in the top 10, does that or should that change the way people look at you guys winning?
I don't know what you mean by what's happening in the top 10. What's happening in the top 10? I mean, you won't believe this. When's the last time there's been teams not losing? I mean, it's just when 2 teams play, one's got to lose. So, what is funny, our overtime wins are L's. You win a tough game, and you need tough games, and I told the guys, they know, I don't expect them. I told them right after the game, I don't expect you to play like it's March, and we're not. Offensively, we're still not. We still have guys not playing the way they need to play for us to really be special. They're not. And so, but I tell them, but you can come out and defend, you can come out and play with energy. And when you don't, it just looks bad for you. That's what looks bad. It's not your decision making. It's, why isn't he playing like the other guys? And they're able to do that, and it's just hard. I mean, they're not machines, and, they just got to buy into, I got one thing I got to do, and that is I'm going to go out here and compete like crazy. Can't dictate how the other team's going to play. This team is shooting 22 threes or 22 or 23 threes a game, playing faster than they played, so it's not You're not just going to hold somebody to 50 points in this kind of game. You got to play good offensively, too.
Is this back and forth with you and Dick Vitale, friendly?
Yeah, I mean,
friendly banter?
somebody just mentioned, I just tweeted out some, because when I walked in, Eric said to me, the people that know you two know how close you are. People that don't think you're throwing stones. And I said, really? And so then I just said, look, he and I have known each other for a long time. He's been great to me. Anytime he's asked me to do anything for him, I have. And he was a heck of a coach now. He was. At Detroit, beat Michigan. I mean, he was a heck of a coach. And like some people in our profession, he made a mistake and went to the NBA. And more than just him and I. There's some others out there made that same mistake. And but if he would have stayed at Detroit and got the Michigan job or you would have seen what a good coach he was, and great motivator. And but yeah, that made me laugh. I should have smiled. I thought I smiled. Sometimes you know how you think you're smiling and you're not smiling. Yes, I am. But he came in prior to the game, says, I don't agree with you. And I said, you don't agree with anything I do. So somebody looked at me and said, did you have someone listening to the TV of what he was saying? And I go, no, I talked to him prior to the game. I know what he was going to say. So.
John, he said the best thing that ever happened to him was getting fired in the NBA. You ended up with a pretty good.
He ended up with a good gig.
You too?
I look at it, and I tell you, it made me a better coach. It made me better at my craft. It made me better for my players. So I don't regret doing what I did. I don't look back that way. I think everything that's happened, I've been blessed. I mean, things that have happened for me over my life, I became, when they fired me, the Nets, the highest paid amateur golfer in the world. I did.
Did it help your golf game?
It did. It did. I had 2 hips then.
Do you keep the rotation the same on Saturday?
I might. We will see.
John, can you explain? I don't understand about the platoons. I think you're saying one thing and I'm hearing another. When you say platoons, I'm hearing 5 subbing for 5, but I think you're talking playing time more than 5 and 5.
No, if a guy doesn't do what he's supposed to, he comes out. I mean, I'm coaching the game. Marcus Lee rebounds with one hand, he's out. He loses those minutes. A guy jogs the court, he's out. Carl Towns does a step back 3 and tiptoes, he's out. He is out. So I don't know if you want to call that whatever you want to call it, but we're still 5 in, 5 out. The harder one was when it was 9, where you're platooning 4 at a time and keeping 1. So you 5 in, 4 come in, 1 stays. And then who do you pick who stays? And then it jumbles there. But the 5 and 5, no, but it's not communism.
But it's not just punishment, right? I mean, you're also rewarding good play. Staying
Yeah, maybe. Usually for a group. So if a group does well, they'll stay in longer. So you give up more than 6 points, you're out. You give up under 6 points, 6 points or under, you can stay another minute. But I'll be honest with you, as you look at them, they start dying after 4.5, 5. They get to 5 minutes, they're winded. I mean, it's hard to play the way we're playing. It's when you look at what they're doing. But I don't know why everybody's so caught up in exactly what platoon is. And I mean, there are people that are like caught up in it. I don't know if it's, I don't know what it is. I have a feeling I know, but
Kentucky basketball?
I guess.
A lot of analysts, John, are turning, that's something to talk about. And therefore, the former coaches, you have never had the opportunity to do what you do. You don't like
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I'm just trying to do what the team needs and what's good for these kids. The greatest thing is everybody kind of, you get protected on top of having your opportunity to play and play well because of efficiencies, but you also get protected. You're not out there long enough to look like, oh my gosh, look at him. You're not out there long enough to be that. And if you do start playing that, the next group comes in, you get your head together, you go back and you play better. And the ego stuff for minutes and shots and you know, that's all ego. I just want to know guys are playing, and got a great bunch of kids. It's hard what we're doing. Like, we're going into this, this is a hard game. I mean, we haven't won down there. If I can imagine, have we? Well, I took a team at Memphis down there and we won. So, but we haven't won since I've been here, I don't believe. Have we?
Did James
One more,
Andrews
guys.
do Alex's surgery, and how's he
I
doing? Is he
don't
back
know
here?
exactly who did it. He's back and he's doing well. It's swelled. He's trying to get the swelling down so he can get into the rehab.
Gentlemen,
Thanks.